if you really want to improve your chess and reach levels you never thought you could, then you need to answer this question correctly. Why? If you know why a move has been played, you are in the opponent's head. If you're in someone's head when they're playing chess, then you know how they're thinking, what they're trying to do, and what they're trying to accomplish. If you know how your opponent is thinking and what exactly he's thinking about, you can always defeat him. If you don't know what he's thinking, then that's a big problem. Here, in this video, I'll be showing you a game played at the 1700 ELO level by one of my members in my free chess improvement community. Here he played a good game, but then he failed to answer this question correctly. He failed to answer the question why. So he lost this game because he didn't know why his opponent made certain moves, which caused them to lose the game. Now, this is a little bit of advanced game at the 1800 ELO, 1700 ELO on chess.com, so it's not a beginner or intermediate, but you can always learn from this. I'm going to try to simplify everything to the best of my abilities. Okay, we're going to start this position with this move e4, and my member plays the Caro-Kann, and I love this. His name is Adam. He plays the Caro-Kann. Okay, and now here white was supposed to put a pawn in the center, always put a pawn in the center, but he played passively and played this move d3. This move is bad. Why? Because it blocks in the bishop. The bishop is supposed to be out, right? So white plays some move like d4, keeping a chance for his bishops to be out. But d3 opens up for his bishop, but blocks in the other one. But that's okay. Knight c6, bishop to d2, which is also another passive move. He's just trying to get his pieces, active, but he's not ambitious. His opponent is not ambitious. He's really passive. The bishop there, the bishop is going to still, be there. Is going to try to castle by playing something like bishop to e2. So he's giving up a lot of control over the center with this move e5. Now, black did not play it because whenever we're playing chess, we fail for this temptation of just, quickly developing the pieces and do not really exploit the mistakes that our opponent makes in the opening phase. So here, a mistake that the opponent did here, where, white, was not taking control of the center. So now a move like e5 is totally possible because there is no pawn that can stop it, right? White played d3 instead of d4. So instead of just quickly getting into the position, just developing your pieces, then you have to reflect on what the opponent did and then, switch your openings a little bit, okay? Try to adapt to the opponent moves, not, only get into memorization and stuff. Adapt. Okay, but black did not do that. Played knight f6 first. Now white here was supposed to play d4. Yes, waste another move, but he has to stop this move from happening, which he didn't. He played bishop to e2, trying to castle his king. Now black found this move e5. Two pawns in the center, two knights. This is beautiful. White castled, and now here, your number one priority is to get your pieces out in a way that you will be developed, and most importantly, castle, because as you can see, white here castled their king. So you have to castle your king because their king is safe right now, and your king is not that safe because your king is still in the center. So moves like this and this, opening up your king. Therefore, bishop e7, bishop to d6, trying to castle is your top priority here. Okay, black did not do that. He played this move, bishop to g4. In the Caro-Kann defense, sometimes the bishop could be a liability. Sometimes it could be a liability. Okay, so they go out with the bishop trying to get it active and trade it off for a really good piece for the opponent pieces. Okay, and also trying to get the rook active, on c8. That's an idea, but this move is a mistake. Bishop to g4. Why is it a mistake? I want you to pause the video and ask yourself the question: why? Why this move is bad? Bishop to g4. What could be wrong here? Well, okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it from the, perspective of white. Your opponent just played bishop to g4, attacking your knight. Okay, now your knight is defended very, very well, right? But here, if you really want to see the best move, you could say, okay, bishop to g4. How can I make the most use of this move? What can I do? Well, you can see that you have a bishop and a queen, creating a battery, indirectly attacking the bishop. Now, the bishop is only defended once, right? So if there was no knight here, we could just easily win an entire piece, right? But the problem here was that we have a knight. So your first instinct here is to sacrifice the knight, right? Knight takes c5. Give me the bishop. I'm attacking you 3 times and only defending once. Now here black might play something like knight takes e5. You might say, well, now black is defending this piece twice, we're attacking twice, and that's totally fine. But no, here in this position, there's a winning move for white, and that is this move d4. Give me the knight. And also give me the bishop. And if black, for example, takes, we take, and the knight is pinned, and we're going to win it on the next move, being up a pawn. So that's what white missed, and that's what black did not see. Black did not see a move like this happening. So I'm gonna show it to you with the black's perspective. Knight takes, d4. If you move, like for example here, if they just take, the knight will be pinned. And if knight to c5, knight to c4, then there's this move: bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, and this is completely over for black. You might say, well, hold on, this is a free pawn. No, it is not. You're going after pawns to get the material back, but yes, the position is materially equal. But here, there is rook to e1. You block with the bishop, then you lose this pawn. Your position is completely losing, right? It's +6 for white here. So that's why black here made a mistake, and he did not see that bishop to g4 could lead to something like this, because he did not ask himself, okay, why do I even want to go here? Why do I want to go to g4 with my bishop? What is the goal that my bishop is serving here? I want to get developed. That's a good idea. I want to get developed, but I want to get developed and safe. Developed and safe. Our king is not safe, still in the center, so focus on that. Focus on getting this bishop instead of this one, because this bishop, as you can see, controls a really cute diagonal, right? There's nothing to do there, okay? The bishop, you could say that it's already active. Why? Because it already has a really good, good diagonal. But this bishop doesn't that much, and because we need our king to be castled. Therefore, bishop to d6 and bishop to e7 makes sense because we're trying to castle as fast as possible. But this move does not help in that process anytime sooner, and it blunders knight takes e5, which the opponent did not see. He played h3 in literally 1 second. 1 second. h3, 1 second. He did not spend 2 seconds, no, 1 second only on this move. He did not even think about knight takes e5. And that's a mistake played also by the opponent. Don't play blitz. You're playing rapid, okay? If you want to play blitz, go play blitz. Don't play blitz rapid. That doesn't make any sense, right? We play rapid, we play classical chess because we want to use our brain. When you just quickly make a move, you're not using your brain. That's why, I mean, white, had the capacity to win this game much faster, but he didn't. He played h3 right away. Now, a question for you. Would you take the knight, or would you go back? What would you do here? Well, if you went back to h5, the same thing will happen. Knight takes here. Your bishop is still hanging, though, right? Because it is only defended once and attacked twice. We got into that. Okay, taking the knight. Don't just take the knight. I want you to perfect this concept of asking yourself why and having a really good reason. If you don't have a good reason, for making a move, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? I want to do this because of a really good reason. Only then, if it serves you well, then you need to do it. Okay, here. What is this knight doing? Doing nothing here. Yes, pressuring this pawn, but it's already protected. Right? It's already protected. It could be protected even more, castling protected even more. So this pawn is not going to drop. Okay, but here white with this move h3, which is a weakness, because you need to understand that whenever the opponent castles to one side and then pushes one of the pawns in front of his castled king, then that's going to be a weakness. You need to exploit that by going back with the bishop, playing queen to d7, and when you get castled and safe, or castled to the other side and sacrifice your bishop, and getting the queen in, and getting the knight in, and pushing your pawns, then you will understand that this move is bad and you need to exploit it. Instead of just giving the bishop away, now you can use it in, for the attack. You can clearly see how different this position is from just this, this position, where they play something else and then you just give up the knight. Here, if they just develop, they're not actually weakening their king side. But with this move, bishop to h3, they're weakening their king side. So now you can exploit it by going back and playing queen d7. But of course, black is not even thinking. That's the problem. You're playing too fast. You're playing too fast, guys. So here, black just took the knight. And bishop takes, getting his bishop active. Now this pawn is protected twice. This pawn is protected as well. So black played bishop to e7, trying to castle. Rook e1, castles. Okay, and now c3. Why c3 though? Ask yourself, why c3? Try to understand why this move has been played. Because white could have gotten out with the knight. Could have played knight to c3. Right? And the knight in the center of the board is really good. Right? Brushing this pawn, controlling the center, trying to jump in, maybe something like that. But instead, he played c3. Why did the opponent play c3? Don't just treat the opponent moves as they are just stupid moves. They're trying to do whatever. No. At the advanced level, and also at the intermediate level, we make moves for a really solid reason. Look, sometimes it could be a very silly reason, sometimes it's going to be a really brilliant reason. You don't know, but you have to figure it out. That's the point of chess. You need to understand how is your opponent thinking, what is he exactly thinking about, and how you can counter his ideas. Playing c3, what does it do? Well, it blocks in the knight. Surely they're not going to play something stupid like knight to a3 and just bishop takes, pawn takes. They're going to have a really bad pawn structure there that you can easily exploit and attack. So they played this move for a reason. And the most logical reason for that is just to open up with the queen, right? Okay, which queen move would be the most annoying? Queen c2, what is the idea behind queen c2? Doesn't do anything. This pawn is already protected, right? Okay, what about queen a4? Nothing is happening here. So the idea of c3 that the opponent wants to play queen to b3 at a certain point and pressure the pawn on b7. Right. Is our pawn on b7 protected? No. Then what do? Protect the pawn. As simple as that. You understood what the opponent wants to do, and then you counter that move before he even plays that move that he wanted to play in the first place. That gets into their head. That is like, oh my god, this dude knew exactly what I wanted to do, and just immediately shut it down. That affects them psychologically. That's already a boost for you. That's already a really good boost for you to win the game. But of course, black here did not even think what this move does. He played rook c8. Now look, this position is still equal, but we're not treating this position with respect. We're not looking why they are making these moves and what they're trying to do. Okay, they play c3. Okay, they can do whatever. We just want to put the rook on the open file. This move is correct. Okay, it's fine, but still the same idea for white that he wants to play queen to b3. Now you're gonna see why am I repeating the same move over and over again. Here white played this move bishop to g5. Again, why? Why? Pause the video and try to get to the mind of a 1700. Why he played bishop g5? Why? Look, bishop to g5 it's really obvious what they're trying to do. They just want this knight, okay? It's like they want to go here in front of the knight. They're not pinning the knight to the queen because there's already a bishop there. So they were clearly after this knight. What does this knight do? Well, this knight protects the pawn on d5, but the pawn is already protected with the queen because it is attacked with the bishop. But what is the idea of white here? The idea of c3 and bishop g5 is very simple. But even a really simple idea was missed by black. The idea here simply that he wanted to open up for the queen, but the queen was only looking at the pawn on b7. But the pawn on b7 could be easily protected. But white is smart. He wants, okay, I don't want the opponent to be able to protect this pawn easily. So he wanted to play bishop to g5 to remove the knight from here. And after the bishop takes, a move like queen to b3 now will attack the pawn on b7, and not only this pawn, the pawn on d5, attacking it twice and only defend it once. So white will be winning a pawn in this position. That's why he played c3 and bishop to g5. If we understood this, if we understood the idea why white is trying to go bishop g5 and queen b3, then we would know that after one of our pawns, we need to do something about that. Something crucial about that. And that is a move like b6. Or maybe just go back. Or maybe, yeah, knight to d7 makes a lot more sense. I mean, look, this pawn you might say it is hanging. No, the bishop is hanging. And if they take you, you would take with the knight. You are protecting everything. Your position is completely fine. So, what did black do here? H6. Look, they wanted to do something so simple like this. A move as clear as this move, bishop to g5, attacking your knight, is very clear that they're trying to go after the knight. They're going to capture it on the next move. So don't waste a move telling them, hey, yeah, do what you wanted to do in the first place, and I just wasted an entire move to help you do that, okay? They're trying to go after the knight. It doesn't matter if you played h6 or you did not play h6. They're going to take this knight either way. So deal with the attack, deal with the idea, deal with their plan first instead of dealing with the threat. Or this simple attacking move, right? So black did not see that. He played h6. White now here perfected his plan. He had a clear idea. I want c3 to open up for the queen. The queen is only looking at a pawn. Only one pawn can be saved, but two pawns at the same time cannot be saved. But the knight is protecting this one. So let's just remove it. And he did not even see that. He just missed it. He just blitzed this move, knight to d2. And crazy thing, black did not even see that. Black did not play a move with the opponent, and so, okay, what can my opponent do? And why this move was played? Honestly, why this move was played and not queen b3, I have no idea. Queen b3 was the best move. But the idea of knight to d2, I would say, all of this, maybe White did not see it, or maybe he did see it, but he was like, okay, I'm not really sure about that. Let's just get out with the knight first, then play queen b3. Here, black had an option to do something about that. Just play move like queen b, b6 and just end the attack of queen b3. But he played rook d8. Rook to b8, protecting the pawn in the center. It's already protected like a lot of times. Okay, so now queen b3 happened. Give me the pawn in the center, attack twice, only defended once, and give me the pawn on b7. Now here, black really took some time. Maybe 20 seconds. 20 seconds on the clock. Okay. He spends 20 seconds. You have two hanging pawns. Pawn on b7 and pawn on d5. Which one is more important? Okay? Pause the video. Ask yourself questions. You're only going to improve when you ask yourself questions and understanding the why behind the move. Why is the center pawn is more important than the pawn on b7? Yes, both of them are hanging. You cannot save both. It is impossible to save both, okay? You can't defend both of those two pawns. But which one is more important and why? This pawn on b7, is it that important? No. Why? Because it doesn't do anything. The knight is already protected by the rook, so we don't have to worry about that. And this pawn is already protected by the knight. But this pawn, this center pawn, is stopping their knight from jumping in. Number one, stopping their bishop from being super active. Stopping them from going crazy with their center pawns and opening up for their pieces. So this center pawn is more important than the pawn on b7. Then if you're going to lose one of them, which one you should be trying to defend? Well, obviously the center pawn, going back with knight e7. Well, you might say, well, hey, we're dropping the pawn on b7. Yes, we are, but they're also losing a pawn in the process. We have rook b8. If you want to take this pawn, which is a poison pawn, I'll be winning your pawn as well. So you want to take me here, I'll take you here, give me your knight. The knight gets active or something. We play this move, very cool move that, okay, white is up a pawn, so we just play queen to a8, give me the queen, and if the queen just moved back, then give me this pawn. We will be winning the pawn back. And if they just take, we take here, and now we're attacking this pawn twice. They cannot really protect. There is no rook to e2 move type of move. That's a blunder. Rook takes b3, takes, and that would be a check, right? So this is what black missed. I'm not asking black to see all of that, but I'm just asking him to, okay, focus on the most important thing. A center pawn is more important than anything, because look, whoever controls the center in chess controls the game. So do not give up the center control that easily. Don't give it up. Okay, the pawn in the center is attacked. Protect it. It's only, defended once. Go back and protect. You're gonna lose something, but figure it out. Okay, you're gonna figure it out how to deal with that position. You have to play something like this. Go after the pawns and think about counterplay. And actually, if you drop this pawn, if you win the pawn on b2, then any move like this would do some tactics against this rook. That would be great. But of course, now here black did not see that. And with just 20 seconds, he played this move d4. You're going to be losing a pawn, okay? You're going to be down materially. You should not be opening up the position because you're down material. You can't open up the position while you're down material because you'll be helping the opponent to win, okay? You'll be helping the opponent. d4 happened. Queen takes b7. All right. Now here what black was thinking, that after this move, after white takes, he wanted to take and he wanted to threaten this pawn on d3, right? And also attacking this knight. But what he missed, that after takes and they take back, their knight is hanging. The bishop and the queen are looking at the knight and only defended once. But black went after the pawn, thinking that they can win the knight, but they cannot win the knight because after they take here and they take there, they miss that their rook, they're actually hanging. So takes, take, and they miss this move, takes here, and now they're losing 2 pawns. All right, so now black is down 2 points of material. White got some activity, and the queen started moving away, but that is just bad. And now, as you can see, white is trying to go after this weakness on f7 and getting more pieces into the game. Black tried to do something here, tried to get his pieces into the game, and now white is, okay, now this is a really good move by white, trying to get the queen straight off the board, but drop the pawn on a2, and even this position is still winning for white, +2 for white, because queen takes e4 check, g6, and after a couple of moves, I mean this, you want to attack a piece, attack it in a better way. Don't attack it by moving one of the defenders of the king, because now this bishop is one of the defenders of the king, right? So moving it like this is just completely risky. You might be getting pinned and stuff. So just attack it like this, or something like that. Okay, bishop to b2, rook to c7. Get me this, but it's already protected. Don't worry. Bishop went back, attacking the rook. The rook moved, and now black played queen to a6, give me the rook, but the rook's already protected, and he missed queen takes f7 and resigned, because after king h8, there will be a checkmate. So, why did black lose this game? He lost this game because he lost it. Look, he lost emotionally before he lost it really on the chessboard. He lost it because he saw that he's going to be dropping a pawn, and at this level, if you drop a pawn, that's it. You lost the game. If you drop the pawn, you're losing the game. That's it. You can't do anything about that. Sometimes it gets to a draw, but it's very unlikely. So, why he lost? Even though he had a completely winning position in the opening phase, he missed a tactic here. He missed a tactic. The opponent did not see that. Here, there was a weakness that he did not exploit correctly. He needed to go back and then regroup and then attack. He missed that. Then he got into an equal position. He got his pieces out and he was doing fine. Here, he missed the Y. He did not see why c3 was played. If it was very, very, very clear. And how to deal with that. Don't just waste a move for it. Don't just, okay, they want to play queen b3, but only when they play queen b3, I protect the pawn. No, they want to go here to attack me. I'll defend. Before they even play it. Before they even play the move, counter their move, because that will get into their head. They're like, oh my god, this dude knows exactly what I'm thinking about, and he countered my idea before I even played it. You're going to be winning psychologically before you're going to be winning on the chessboard. It's really annoying for them, and that's why I completely win against these rated lower rated players as a 2100, because you can get to them emotionally because you know how they think, and all you have to do just stop them from doing what they want, and they will fall. They will crumble. So black did not see the queen to b3 move. He played rook c8, and after a couple of moves, he did not see the reason behind countering this knight. And then after he saw that, okay, I'll be dropping one of my pawns, I'm gonna lose, and then he just panicked and played the move d4, even though he needed to go back and make sure he protects the center pawn and then focus on counterplay. But he also missed that, and then things got really messy. In just a couple of moves, he ended up losing the game. Black here has 5 minutes on the clock. You lose a game with checkmate with 5 minutes on the clock. That's insane. He missed a really critical move in a critical position, and that is this move here, queen b3. When you're going to be losing material, even a pawn, even of only one pawn, that could be considered a critical position. I need to spend time. Spend 50 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. Spend time on really critical positions, because if you lose a lot of material, it doesn't matter how fast you play or how slow you play. You're going to be losing anyway. So your goal, your number one goal, is to make sure you're going to be not losing a lot of material and you will have some counterplay. And here, Black was supposed to think, I'm going to lose one of these two. I should be just defending this one and drop this one, but then get activity. And a move like this and this, Black could have seen that. But if he spent a minute and 30 seconds, something like that. But he only spent 20 seconds and then he went with this move. He did not calculate what's going to happen after this, or maybe that, or maybe knight jumping in. He did not calculate any of that. He was like, okay, let's just push d4. Master the why, and you will improve at chess really, really fast. You join my free chess community to get a free analysis video just like this one. Thank you for watching.